Adam Schiff took a text message that I had forwarded to the White House Chief of Staff, changed it, altered it, presented it in a false way to the American people. So they're recording colleagues, they're lying to people, all because they're driven by this animosity towards President Trump, who I think was the best president we have had certainly in our lifetimes, in doing what he said he would do.
Wow, and that is Ohio Republican Congressman Jim Jordan trying to smear Democrats to get away from Jordan's own problems. More about Jordan's problems in just a second. What he's alleging here is that Democrat Adam Schiff, a member of the January 6th committee, put information in front of this committee that was altered, misleading about Jim Jordan. Well, that claim itself is misleading, and here's why. What Adam Schiff did is he introduced a text message that Jim Jordan, the Ohio Republican congressman, sent before January 6th to former Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. The text message said, quote, "On January 6th, Vice President Mike Pence, as President of the Senate, should call out electoral votes that he believes are unconstitutional as no electoral votes at all, in accordance with guidance from Founding Father Alexander Hamilton and judicial precedents." What Shiff did is Shiff left out that part of the sentence that said, in accordance with guidance from Founding Father Alexander Hamilton and judicial precedents. Yes, that was a mistake, an inadvertent mistake, said Shiff, but it doesn't change the fact that here was Jim Jordan telling the White House Chief of Staff that Mike Pence should not certify the election. That's the thrust of this text message. And by the way, Jim Jordan voted against certifying Joe Biden as president before the January 6th insurrection, just hours before.
January 6th, did you speak with him before, during, or after the Capitol was attacked?
I'd have to go. I spoke with him that day after. I think after. I don't know if I spoke with him in the morning or not. I just don't know. I'd have to go back and. I mean, I don't know that when those conversations happened.
Now, if Jim Jordan was really bothered by, quote, allowing information to be presented in a false way, Jim Jordan would have an issue with himself. Jim Jordan has been asked repeatedly by so many different members of Congress and journalists, did you have any phone calls, any conversations with Donald Trump before, during, or after the insurrection on January the 6th? And Jim Jordan has been all over the place. He's been evasive. He says, I can't recall. I have conversations with Donald Trump every day. He finally admitted that, yes, I had a conversation after the insurrection. But now we find out, thanks to the January 6th committee, that based on a White House call log, Jim Jordan and Donald Trump had a 10-minute conversation the morning of January 6th, before the rally, before the insurrection. But somehow, Jim Jordan just can't seem to remember that 10-minute conversation on such a crucial day. And by the way, if Jim Jordan really was concerned about the facts, he would have voted to support the January 6th commission instead of voting against it. As you can tell, Jim Jordan has a lot of problems, and it's not just related to his tenure in Congress, where he's been a staunch right-wing conservative, a Trump lunatic, somebody who literally bathes in hypocrisy. Before Jim Jordan entered politics, from 1986 until 1994, he was an assistant wrestling coach at Ohio State University. During this time period, there was an athletic department doctor who allegedly sexually abused more than 100 student athletes. And 4 years ago, in the summer of 2018, 5 former wrestlers said that Jim Jordan knew about the abuse that they suffered because they told Jim Jordan about it in the locker room, and that was part of their banter. And one of the wrestlers said that Jim Jordan called him 4 years ago in July of 2018, begging and pleading and crying with the wrestler, please don't corroborate that I knew about this stuff. The wrestler said this is the kind of cover-up that Jim Jordan routinely engages in. Jim Jordan's office denies that he knew anything about the sexual abuse. But again, Jim Jordan has a record of lying about a lot of things and smearing other people in order to change whatever subject he doesn't want to talk about. That's Jim Jordan. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you think in the comments section.